Hi, I am Heather and I'm the owner here of Ewe Ewe Yarns, and today I am kicking off a new series I'm calling Substitute That. So often I get an email that says, "Hey Heather, can I use one of your yarns for this pattern I found on Ravelry?" And sometimes the answer is yes, and sometimes the answer is let's figure it out. So today I want to walk you through an email I just got from Deborah, and it says, Hi Heather, did you see Caitlin Hunter's new pattern release? When I saw sport weight, I immediately thought of your heathered sport weight yarn. Gorgeous, huh? Definitely on my to-do list soon, thinking on the color. Heart, Deborah. So perfect. Okay, Deborah, let's do this. So in the email, Deborah had included a picture of the pattern she was talking about, even though she doesn't say it here. So it was this pattern called the Sellwood Tee, which is a really pretty cap sleeve with a lace motif. Like, look at all these really pretty stitch patterns. Just makes a really nice, slightly fitted top, and has a nice rounded neck. And like I said, those little cap sleeves with it looks like a little pickup for the arm edge. So, okay, and Deborah said she noticed the pattern was sport weight, and if we go here on Ravelry, yes, that's right, we can see yarn weight sport. Perfect. So, as I said, we have 4 weights of yarn here at Ewe Ewe. Actually, I don't know if I said that. So one of them is called You So Sporty, and it's our sport weight. So that's a great place to start. We know we are using a yarn that is classified in the same weight. So You So Sporty here it is. It is a beautiful, bouncy, squishy merino yarn that has a great twist and really shows off stitch definition. And that being one of the highlights of this pattern, the stitch definition is just so clear and pretty. So we want to make sure all that hard work that Deborah's going to do shows up. So You So Sporty will look great in this design. Now we can read a little bit about the pattern from the designer in the notes here on Ravelry. It says the Sellwood Tee is knit from the bottom up in the round, then separated for the upper back and front, which are worked flat. Okay, so that's great. So it works up to the underarm, then you work back and forth, and then you probably come back and pick up the armhole sleeve edges and pick up for the neckline, and you're done. It looks like a great pattern to work. Oh, and here the designer also adds, this top features an easy to memorize stitch pattern and is lovely meditative pattern to work. Okay, that sounds great. So if we come on down here, we can evaluate our sizes. There's really great notes. So what we want to do is look at the yarn that the designer used for her pattern. And it says here, sport weight, great. 60% merino, 60% Corriedale. Now, merino and Corriedale are both breeds of sheep. So that means we're working with wool. And Ewe Ewe is all merino wool, so that is perfect. So we know we're talking 2 things the same, wool and sport weight. Great. And then the designer also tells us that each skein is 325 yards per 100 grams. So we know You So Sporty comes in 50-gram balls, and there are 145 yards on each skein. So that, if we double that to 100, this is about 290 yards. So we're close. We're in a good percentage of yardage to weight, and that means we're kind of talking apples to apples. We're not looking at like a yarn that has silk or that has bamboo or cotton. You know, things aren't like, things are similar enough that this is going to be a good, easy pattern to substitute. So then, since we know the yarn is pretty much gonna be good. We can go down and start looking at the yardages. And the designer is very nice here to estimate the yardages for each size, which is awesome. So if we start here with the smallest size, it says 655 yards. So the way we would figure out how many skeins of You So Sporty we need is we just pop open the calculator and we hit 655 divided by 145, which is each skein, and then we equals, and we get 4.51, whatever, skeins of You So Sporty. And now we know we can't buy 0.5 of a skein, so this means we need 5 balls of You So Sporty to make the smallest size of this Sellwood Tee pattern. So that's great. And having overage like that, like a half a skein over what the actual finished garment is estimating to require, is good, because then you have a lot of yardage to either to make your gauge, which you definitely should, because you're substituting a yarn, you're making a fitted garment, so you always want to check your gauge. So that half a skein is going to give you a lot of yardage to check your gauge, which is great. So you don't have to worry about like, oh my, am I going to be close? So then we can just do that for a couple other sizes too. The second size here, what's that? 786 divided by 145, 5.4. So that means you'd need 6 balls of You So Sporty. And here, let's just do the third one too. 917 divided by 145, 6.3. So that means you need 7 balls. So, you know, we're really, it's giving you good overage, so you can, you know, if you want to add an inch or two, like you're starting to get into that range where it's, you know, you can really think about that and you have enough overage, and so that is great. And then yeah, you can just come on over here to Ewe Ewe Yarns and visit our yarns page. Find the yarn you're looking for. We're talking about You So Sporty today, which comes in 25 pretty colors. I've been kind of flashing around. This is the saffron color, which you can see here about 230 on the color wheel. But there's so many good color options and so many things available. That sweater is so pretty in the fact that it's has a lot of stitches, but it's also sort of like, because it's got such a consistent pattern, it's also like sort of, it's visually simple to the eyes as well. So a solid color will really help all those stitches really pop out. So you could do some really fun stuff, you know, like this teal would look gorgeous. Like that would really pop and be shiny. The red velvet, oh my goodness, would look great for the holidays, you know, layered under something. It could look awesome like for going to the office if you're in the charcoal, which isn't dissimilar to what the designer had used. And a ton of other colors, like, you know, maybe you want to go with even something like vanilla, because with all those pretty stitches in this tee, like here, let's zoom in. Look at these really pretty kind of like reverse stockinette sections and these slip stitches. Look at that necklace. Who cares? That's funny. I like that. And so yes, all of these really pretty stitch patterns, and so it could really pop if you do a light color, you know, kind of like wheat, and it's perfect for layering. Like I said, for the holidays, put a really pretty cardigan over it. It's great to go to the office. It's just a beautiful tee. Oh, and then if you cruise down Ravelry, there are a lot of other pretty colors. You can see you could do pink, yellows. Oh, here's a black. That would look really cool in our black licorice. Ooh, this navy is beautiful. We could use our midnight blue, really pretty. That would look great with everything, I'm sure. The cotton candy. Okay, so obviously the ideas are endless for what you want to, like, that's what I said. It's such a beautiful pattern. It would look great in any color. Oh, here's that kind of like wheat creamy color like I was talking about. So, you know, you can click around on here. You can go look at other people's projects if you have a Ravelry account. So anyway, that is the jumping off point. And then, yeah, that is how you get started with substituting a yarn. And if you have a pattern in mind, I would love to hear about it. So you can come here to Ewe Ewe Yarns, and at the bottom of every single page, in the footer, we have Contact Us, and you can simply type in your name here and send us a message with the pattern that maybe you've seen, that you've been thinking about making. And, you know, I am more than happy to tell you if a yarn will work and even if a yarn won't work. You know, there's reasons why a merino yarn might not work in a specific pattern. So I'd love it if you wrote in with your patterns. You can leave a comment down below and let me know, or like I said, I'd love it if you came to my website and sent a message. So definitely let me know, and let me know if you like this series and you want to see more. So thanks. Have a great day.